Hello, my name is Lucille Karatzis. I'm a licensed clinical social worker with TLC Services. Today I would like to share some information that might be helpful during times of stress. In the work that I do with clients, I often find that the use of metaphors helps people to retain and have access to concepts that they later find useful. So today I would like to share with you 3 of my favorite metaphors. The first is of a pitcher, the second is of a door, and the third of a bubble. So let us begin with the metaphor of a pitcher of energy. Imagine, if you would, a pitcher very much like this. However, instead of being filled with water, your personal pitcher is filled with energy, emotional and physical. On any given day, the amount of energy that you begin your day with may vary. In an ideal world, in a fantasy, you've had a good night's sleep, all is well with the world, your physical aches and pains have magically disappeared, any illness you have is gone, your relationships are all good, and you have all the energy you need to get through your day. So by the end of that perfect day, you will still have some energy left in your pitcher. You'll go to bed, you'll get refreshed, and you'll begin your next day with a full pitcher. Now, I did say that was a fantasy. In reality, many of us may not get a full night's sleep. We may have worries and concerns. We may not feel as well as we would like to, and we may wake up with a pitcher that is only half full, perhaps. In that situation, we have to be very careful not to end the day on a dry pitcher. If our pitcher runs dry, that's when we find ourselves irritable, angry, sad, depressed, and not really able to function at our best. So, given that the reality is many days we don't start with a full pitcher, what can we do about this? Well, there are 2 things one can do. One is to manage the amount of energy that we use, and the second is to replenish that energy throughout the day. How to avoid depleting our energy? If our energy is low, we may need to make some choices as to how we utilize our energy on any given day. This may mean conserving some of our energy so that we do not end up with a low or empty pitcher too soon throughout the day. Adjusting our expectations may be a little bit difficult for some of us. An example is that you may have always been in the habit of completing a task once you have started it. As we get older and as we have higher levels of stress, we may not have enough energy to do this the way we always did. So starting a task, taking a break, and then returning to it once we are re-energized may be far more helpful. We may actually find that at the end of the day we have accomplished more by taking breaks. Emotional energy is just as important. It is a little bit more difficult to identify our emotional energy, so we need to pay close attention to our feelings. If we are fretting or obsessing over something that has gone wrong, and we are spinning our wheels round and round without finding a solution, it may be wise to take a break from that particular thought process and get back to it at a later date. It will be important to examine how we are utilizing our emotional energy. The first part of doing that is to look at whether or not we have control over the thing we are worrying about. If we do have control, then making a plan of action, even if it's just on paper, steps number 1, 2, and 3, will relieve our mind of that excess worry Having a plan makes us feel more in control. If the issue that is bothering us is not something that is within our control, then it is important for us to identify that, acknowledge it, and decide that it is okay for us to let go of this issue, and then move on to something that is more solvable. Paying attention to your emotional energy is important. Take action when it is appropriate, and allow yourself to let go of things that are not within your control. Now that we've discussed how to avoid depleting our pitcher of energy throughout the day by being able to conserve in various areas, let us now discuss how we can replenish our pitcher of energy. That will vary significantly from person to person, and here are some tips that have worked for some people. First of all, if you are tired, if you have not had a good night's sleep and your pitcher is not full because you are exhausted, there's nothing wrong with taking a nap during the day. Even if you don't sleep, just resting, closing your eyes, breathing, and allowing your body to relax will add energy to your pitcher. So that's one thing you can easily do for yourself. Another thing you can do is focus on something that is meaningful to you. Doing something pleasurable, whether it's making a phone call to a friend, sewing for a bit, or crocheting, maybe doing some woodwork, things that don't require a lot of energy but may replenish your emotional energy can be very helpful. There's a saying that energy begets energy, and that can be very true. Doing something positive can replenish your energy pitcher. Other things that you can do, maybe some deep breathing to relax your body. Doing something for somebody else. Sometimes getting out of our own way and doing something for someone else can really replenish our own energy. So to review, we only have a limited amount of energy. We need to pay attention to how we can conserve when needed and replenish as well. I hope you found this helpful. Next, I would like to share with you a metaphor about a door. A door that you can control who comes in and who leaves your home. Your mind also has the ability to control which thoughts you entertain and which you simply allow to leave for the time being. In this metaphor, if a person were to unexpectedly knock on your door, you might, being a polite person, answer the door, have a brief conversation with them, but make it clear that this is not a convenient time, and then close the door behind them. That would be perfectly okay. Well, you have the ability to do that with thoughts and feelings in your mind as well. So for an example, if you were fretting about a conversation that didn't go very well with someone that you care about, and you're trying to figure out ways of resolving that, and everything you come up with at the moment just doesn't seem to work, it is perfectly okay for you to acknowledge that you're having a problem with this issue and decide that you're going to walk that thought process out your door for now. You may return to it later, but for this moment, it's outside your door. You don't have to deal with it. You can go on to another task, you can do other things, and then revisit that when you have a better frame of mind. Another time that unwanted thoughts seem to creep in are during the nighttime. Many times we will have worrying thoughts that interfere with our sleep, whether it's about disagreements, finances, health issues, things that just keep going around and around in our brain without being able to be resolved. As I mentioned in an earlier portion of this video, what we come up with at 3 o'clock in the morning for resolutions often is not the best resolution. It may sound good at 3 o'clock, but in the light of day, they take a different form. So at that time, you might simply decide, I'm not going to worry about this right now. I'm going to acknowledge that this is an issue, and I will deal with it, but not now. And so you can walk that thought out of your door, come back, do some deep breathing, some relaxing, maybe think about some music or something that will help you calm yourself down and maybe get back to a more restful sleep. These are ways that you can use the metaphor of a door to allow thoughts to come in or to walk them out. I hope you find that helpful. The next metaphor I'd like to share with you is that of a bubble. In the work that I do with clients, oftentimes people will come with feelings of high anxiety and stress. And one of the tools that we can use to help reduce some of that stress is a brief meditation. By meditating, you allow your body to let go of some of the stress that it's holding and brings you to a place where you can manage the real stressors in your life more effectively. So one of the meditations that I do that I'd like to show you right now is quite simple. And if you'd like to follow along with me, that would be wonderful. First, find yourself in a comfortable place and take 3 cleansing breaths. If you can close your eyes, breathe deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Just allow your body to feel that relaxation on the exhale. Another deep breath. And exhale some of the tension. And a third. And exhale. Just the simple fact of doing these 3 deep breaths may be enough to reduce some of your physical tension. The next step in this meditation is to scan your body for where your tension is residing. Is it in your neck or your shoulders? Is it down your back? In your core? Down your legs? Or even in your feet? Wherever that tension is, allow yourself a deep breath, and on the exhale, feel that tension begin to leave your body. So locate that tension, breathe in, and as you breathe out, the tension is starting to dissipate. Your body will thank you for that. The next step is to stay in that relaxed state for as long as is comfortable for you. Pay attention to your breathing. Notice the breath as you do this meditation may actually slow down. You'll notice that when I talk about meditation, my eyes automatically close. I apologize for that. It's just a natural way of my dealing with meditation. It's the minute I close my eyes, my body starts to relax and feel less tension. So I'm modeling that for you. Stay in that comfortable spot of relaxation, breathing as you let the tension out of your body. Now this is where the bubble comes in. Imagine yourself surrounded by a bubble. It's around you and about 3 feet around you. And within that space is your peaceful place. You can breathe, you can relax, you can allow yourself a break from worrying and tension. Now, thoughts may interfere. And when they do, simply acknowledge them and walk them outside the space of your bubble. You may hear a noise while you're in this meditative state. Try not to make it go away. Acknowledge it. By acknowledging it and then choosing to walk it outside of the bubble, you're regaining some control. If you try to pretend that it's not there, it gains in power. So allow any thoughts, distractions of any kind, to simply walk outside of your bubble. Return to the calmness. You may have to take another deep breath as you relax, and stay in that calm place for as long as is comfortable for you. And when you're ready to rejoin the world outside of your bubble, do so slowly, do so gently. Try to carry that peaceful feeling with you as you go on with your day. I hope you have found these metaphors helpful. It has been a pleasure sharing them with you, and I wish you well.